fourth quarter, you guys make a couple runs, able to cut the deficit to the closest four. What do you think the biggest difference maker in that being able to close the gap?
I'm just getting a couple more stops, but I mean, we dug a hole. It was the third quarter, and just our defense for the entire game wasn't quite good enough. If we don't get stops and rebounds, it's hard for us to get out and transition, and then you're playing against their half-court defense a lot, and then when you miss shots, most of the shots were missed because they defended us so well and they were contested, but we also missed some shots that, everything we shot the other night went in. Tonight we missed a lot of shots, but I thought it was more the defense early. In fact, the defense through most of the game, but our offense in the third quarter, I don't know what we shot in the third quarter, but it just, a lot of it, I shouldn't say a lot, a decent amount of it was in the paint. I didn't see, what was our final points in the paint number? I don't know what we shot in the paint. It wasn't 15 for 36. I mean, you can't. Again, Booz and Joakim and Nas are contested shots. We have to get more when we do get the ball in the paint, be it a foul or finish. Get an and one, get something like that. But
PJ, the third quarter, you guys were 2 for 19, I believe, from the field. Is a problem you guys have had all year in terms of third quarters at times. What happened tonight? Do you think that you guys just couldn't get together?
Same thing we were just talking about. I think their defense, it wasn't. We had we got caught with some tough matchups, and a lot of the second team on the floor in the second quarter. That wasn't the case in the third quarter. We had we had our frontline guys in. We just didn't. We 0 for 1 for whatever it was. Their defense was very good. Our execution was not as good as it needs to be, and we were taking the ball out of bounds or out of the net too many times. So all things contributed to that. When we finally got back in it, it was because we got a couple stops, we got some runouts, and made a couple threes, and twice when we had it close, we missed another shot in the paint. We kind of double clutched and had a shot in the paint. I think when it was 4, and we had a great look when a 3 when it was 4. But again, we dug a hole, and we could we have come back and went, yeah. I mean, if we cut it to 2, or that we make that 3, we cut it to 1. But really, over the course of the 48 minutes, we didn't defend well enough. We didn't execute well enough offensively, and we didn't win the battle in the paint. The numbers, I don't think, are not terrible rebounding or whatever, but not finishing in the paint and shooting what we shot with so much of it coming in the paint was a big problem.
PJ, you kind of talked about this, obviously, going into this game, the chance to go up 2-0 at home. Do you view this as a missed opportunity, given that you guys at times didn't match the urgency on both ends?
I don't know if I agree with him. I thought that potentially was a problem. I don't think it was that we didn't match the urgency. I don't think we played as well. I mean, there's nights when you're out there when you just take a step slow and you feel like your guys aren't competing. I thought our guys were competing. I just thought they played better. They executed better on both ends of the floor. I didn't think it was a match the desperation. One of the thing that was our biggest concern. I didn't think that was the issue. I think we understood how important it was, what a good opportunity it was to be playing this game in our building, and we didn't play well enough to win. They played better than we did.
PJ, in light of that, what are your expectations for the team mindset and the kind of adjustments you need to make going into Game 3 on Thursday?
We'll be fine. We're going to be fine. It's a series against a very good team, so we gotta go in there, and we have to play with that the same kind of intensity or exceed the intensity and the physicality, and B, we just got to execute a lot better on both ends of the floor. We got to defend more, the way we did in the first half of Game 1, and we certainly got to execute and make shots better than we did tonight.
PJ, Gerald went out with the 2000 first quarter, and it took him a while to come back in the game. Is he doing all right?
Yeah, no, he was doing very well. I just thought that we had other guys in that were playing well at the time, and Luol, I like for Gerald to guard him as much as we can. But C came in, and CJ was, I think CJ played very well again. So it was really more at times in the second half in particular. We were struggling to score so much that we went with a little bit more of an offensive lineup than we did defense. And, not that it necessarily worked, but that was the thinking.
Coach, Brook had 14 points in the first half, but only took 5 shots in the second half. Did Chicago's defense do anything to limit his touches?
Yeah, they did. They did a good job. They made it harder for us to get the ball to him, and too many times we got the ball away from the basket as opposed to inside the basket. And a lot of the good things that happened in the first half were on pick and rolls, and he was popping. D was getting him the ball on top. D had a bunch of assists. Brook made a bunch of jump shots in the first half. But again, our execution, when they made an adjustment or when they increased the defensive pressure, we didn't handle it or react as well as we need to.
PJ, Darren got the jump on his first line of defence quite a lot tonight, and looked like he was going to the basket, but a bit hesitant all through the game really, but especially in that fourth quarter. I know he had a couple of good assists there for Joe, but do you want him to take it to the hole a bit more?
Well, I think he took it to the hole a number of times tonight, but they contested a lot better. He didn't get all the way to the rim as well as he did. That's poor phrasing. As easily as he did 2 nights ago. Their interior defense was better. They contested a lot better. They didn't let him turn the corner. That's why so many of his decisions were get the ball to Brook, because he drew 2 people on him, and then he involved other people. But obviously we need more. We need a lot more offense from a number of more people than we got tonight. But even with that, we got ourselves back in it. We got ourselves back where we had a potential to, we were right back in it. But you dug too big a hole. You're saying, well, if you'd made that shot, if you made that, you can't make them all. You have to play better over the course of the 48 minutes than we did.
Okay, thank you. Chicago will be in next.
Just about everything we thought we knew from the last game seems not to be true this game.
It's the NBA. It's, I thought we came out with more intensity today. Thought we were able to sustain it much better. And it's only one game, so we have to look at the film, make our corrections, and get ready for the next one.
Tom, how impressed were you? I certainly was with Nazi in the first half, taking up a lot of minutes so Joakim could stay fresh. And the second one was Joakim was so good on D in that last few minutes, but offensively he was very limited. We attempted it all, 3 minutes to go, to maybe take him off, because all of a sudden he came to life in the last 2. I'm so glad you left him in. But.
Well, the thing is, Joe's giving us everything he has, and we're obviously a lot better with him on the floor. His timing's not quite there. He's doing a lot of it on will. But I thought his defense was very good. His rebounding effort was great. He had a very timely basket late, a couple of them actually. But and he can make your offense function too. His passing is terrific. And I think the more he plays, the more his timing comes back. So we were able to increase. He's feeling better. We increased his minutes some. And you're right. I thought Nazi gave us great effort. In 17 minutes was terrific, and we needed it. And we had a lot of guys step up. I thought Lual's game was tremendous, start to finish. Big baskets, big rebounds, great defense. Carlos rebounding effort. I thought Nate and Marco, good lift off the bench. Taj aggressive, got some foul trouble. Kirk did a great job running the team, and Darren Williams is, he's such a great player, and keeps constant pressure on you. And then, I thought our rebounding effort was much better today.
Coach, what, if anything, back here, Coach, what, if anything, were you able to do to maybe take Darren out of his game tonight?
Nah, the thing is, he's such a smart player. I don't think you could give him a steady diet of anything. So, you try to give him some different looks. He plays to win. He's going to make the right play. I thought, he's going to hit the open man, and you got to recover. If you don't have a multiple effort against him, he creates so many easy shots for his team. And they missed some shots that they made the other night, and sometimes it comes down to that make or miss.
Coach, talk a little bit about the difference between Luau on Saturday night, where I knew you were not pleased with his effort, and then tonight where he was from the outset it looked like a totally different player.
Yeah, as I said, before the game, and I never measure Luau on his scoring. I measure him on his all-around play because of all the things that he does for our team. He's a great individual defender, a great team defender. He scores so many different ways, and it's not an individual game, so I'm not going to measure him. I thought as a team we played poorly in the first game, so it wasn't just Luau, it was all of us, and I thought we made the corrections in today's game. Luau is, the guys who see him every day, sometimes you could take him for granted for all that he does for our team. He's really the glue of the team, and whenever you take him out, you can see that. So, he brings a lot of intangibles, as does Joe, and as does Kirk Heinrich. So those are the guys that, they probably don't get the credit that they deserve.
Coach, you guys seemed committed to getting the ball out of Darren Williams' hands in the early going. When Brook Lopez made, I think it was like 3 or 4 of those jumpers on the high pick and rolls, were you tempted to change it? And what adjustments did you make to make it tougher on him?
Yeah, anytime you put 2 on the ball, and Darren's so good in the pick and roll, it requires your entire team to react and be tied together. So he made some shots. We knew, when you have to decide what you're willing to live with, and that's the thing that makes it tough. Lopez has great touch for a big guy. And Darren is just a very unselfish player. He made some clean passes out, got there. We got to close harder. But the Nets are tough. They're a very well balanced team. They play extremely hard. They play together. They have everything. They can break it down off the dribble. They can hurt you in the post. They rebound the ball. So we got our work cut out for us.
Tom, to your left, this was the kind of defensive effort you guys have been known for the last few years. This season, how much have injuries contributed to maybe not being the same defensive team as you'd like?
I don't want to use the injury thing as an excuse. I think that we have more than enough to get it done. I think that the challenge for us was we had a core coming back that understood our system, and we had a lot of new guys that had to get up to speed quickly. And maybe we haven't gotten up to speed as quickly as we would have liked. But as long as we're moving in the right direction and concentrate on daily improvement, we can live with that. And oftentimes, even if we do make a mistake, if we're doing it hard enough, we can overcome it. And so I think the level of intensity is huge for us.
Obviously, Joe's not 100%. First half struggled a little bit. Wasn't his usual self as far as helping recover on Lopez. First of all, what was your decision process to stick with him in the second half? And second, can you just talk about his performance down the stretch?
I thought he was great all around. He started off the game to help set the tone for the game. Then came back, played well, I thought, in the second quarter. As I said, it's not just, it's easy to say, well, that's Joe's man who's scoring, but Darren Williams is forcing you to do things. And so whenever we go to help on Darren, we got to help for Joe, and so that's something that we can do better. We got to close harder. We can't give him an uncontested shot. But, I thought overall, Joe was very rusty in the first game, but willed it, and I thought he willed it again tonight. And we needed every bit of it. But to me, it's obvious that we're a much better team with him on the floor.
I don't know if you made a conscious decision to use some bigger lineups tonight and stay big. Can you explain that decision and also talk about Nazi's contribution?
Yeah, you know, Nazi had been playing with, and as I said, it was hard to sort of settle on the rotation to see, you know, what groups are working, and their size up front, their rebounding is a concern. So, and the issue is more, you know, Joe's minutes restriction, so you've got to find that balance. And Nazi's done a great job the second half of the season for us. So the good part of, you hate to even say it, but of some guys being out, it gave other guys an opportunity to step up and grow. I thought Jimmy has done a great job for us the second half of the season. I thought Nazi did. And so maybe in some ways that it did help us.
What about Nazi specifically tonight, though?
The timely baskets, you know, hustle plays, size at the rim. I think you need those things. You're not going to be very difficult, I think, to play great defense when you downsize. You know, I think offensively it helps. You know, aesthetically, it probably looks a lot better because you have another perimeter skilled guy on the floor. So, but I think defensively, you sacrifice a lot. I think it's one of the unique things about Taj and Joakim is the fact that when teams go small on you, you can stay big.
Coach, you have been coaching Joakim for like 3 years now. You found yourself being still surprised when you saw him being able to play like he did tonight?
I'm sorry?
Are you still surprised with the way Joakim is playing when you see him, when you consider how he was in bad shape tonight?
Well, I'm not surprised. You know, he's obviously done a lot of great things for us, you know, over the last 3 years. The fact that, you know, he's really willing it right now, because he hasn't practiced a lot since the All-Star break. And then, you know, we shut him down for quite a period of time. So, you know, he's willing it, is what he's doing, and to his credit.
Coach, Noah played twice as many minutes as he did in the first game, so obviously, do you think that's a good sign, and do you think that will continue? Do you actually need him to counteract Lopez?
Yeah, you know, I think we're trying to go on how he feels, how he's responding the day after, and he says he's feeling better. He's getting a lot of treatment. So we're probably going to stay in that area of 20 to 25 minutes. Maybe we'll see how he is tomorrow. You never know with that injury.
Tom, game one, they got out to a fast start. Craig got into it. How important was it for the first few minutes? It was noticeably quiet, and very quickly you guys got a few early baskets and they looked awful in offense. How important was that start to get the crowd out of it?
Well, you know, I thought they played with energy, but in game one, the start of the game, you know, I think we were down 3 with 3 minutes to go. They went 10-2 to end the quarter. So it was the end of the first quarter, and then of course the second quarter where we took the hit. And but in playoff basketball, you have to play for 48 minutes, and you know you have to be mentally tough when you face adversity. So it's how we respond after we get hit, and I liked how we responded today. But as I said earlier, it's one game. We know how good this team is.
Okay, thank you guys. Joakim.
Joe, obviously your minutes were up today from game one. How did you feel out there, and how were you able to finish the game in the fashion that you did?
Just found a way. You know, it feels great to come out with a win tonight. We showed a lot of resiliency. We came out flat in game one. I feel like it was a great team effort. We've been doing that all year. You know, dealt with a lot of adversity, and to come out, biggest moment of our season, and play the way that we played was huge.
How did you feel?
Feels great.
So obviously you were gutting it out the whole game, but first half and second half, I mean, big difference. What adjustments did you make?
I mean, not much, you know, just I feel like, you know, I haven't played in a long time, so just I feel like the more I'm on the court, and if my foot is willing, you know, it's gonna get better.
Joakim, you looked fantastic in that fourth quarter defensively, but with the ball in your hand a couple of times there, you were a bit hesitant. But that seemed to change in that last couple of minutes. Was it just the adrenaline that got you going and able to make that cut for that big layup and then a block on Rook a minute later?
Yeah, like, you know, I haven't played in a long time. I hadn't played in almost a month before the playoffs. So, you know, I think that I'm just trying to get into my rhythm. I'm missing a lot of open shots. You know, I just gotta feel more comfortable. But I feel like overall, our team played, you know, passionate basketball tonight, and that's a plus because it was ugly in that game one.
Joakim, having played here in high school at Apollo Prep High School, any added significance to coming home and making sure you got one before you went back to Chicago?
No question about it. No question about it. You know, just being able to play in the playoffs is something that I'll never take for granted, and just being able to do it in front of, you know, my loved ones and my family. You know, it's just it's something that's really special to me.
Joe, it looks like you guys were able to wall off the lane much more effectively than you did in game one. How were you able? Was that a focus going in, and also was
Say it again, sorry.
It looked like you guys were able to wall off the lane much more effectively tonight than in game one. Was that a focus going in, and also what do you think of Nazi's contributions tonight?
Nazi, I mean, you know, Nazi, you know, a lot of people always say, you know, oh, you know, veteran, play a long time in this league, but I mean, the things that he's dealt with this year, just not playing in the beginning of the year, and just coming out in the biggest moments and stepping up the way he had is something that, you know, it shouldn't go untalked about. You know, he was huge for us tonight, and you know, it's gonna. We need everybody. You know, we need everybody. This is a very good team, and for us to get to where we want to get to, it's gonna take a team effort. But very proud of the way you know, he's a class act on and off the court, and works very hard. Even when he wasn't playing, he was always working really hard. You know, he stepped up in a big moment, so he was huge.
Walling off the lane.
The walling off the lane part. Yeah, it was definitely an emphasis. You know, we didn't play very good defense in game one, and we were all very disappointed with the game. And, you know, we just wanted to take away that pocket pass.
Early in the fourth quarter, you guys built a 14-point lead. At the point where you re-entered, 7:39, they were on a 9-0 run. Could you kind of just take us through your emotions at the time when you were re-entering the game and sort of what you're thinking down the stretch, knowing that you're playing on a foot that's less than 100%?
Just trying to affect the game, affect win, just find a way. I wasn't really thinking too much, you know, just hooping, trying to make plays, trying to help affect win.
Joakim, how much was it big for the team to have a rebound performance from Luau, especially how much you guys depend upon him, and how impressive was it for him to be as aggressive as he was from the beginning of the game and play the kind of game he had?
No, I mean, we need Lou. I mean, he's the glue of this team, you know, and we need Lou aggressive, offensively and defensively. He's been doing that for us all year. We know that to get past Portland, we need a big wall name.
So there was that sequence in the middle of the fourth quarter. You were in the middle of all those plays. Made a dunk when the pass across. You made a save out of bounds. Given your situation, what are you thinking? How are you pushing yourself through a sequence like that?
Just trying to find a way. I'm just happy that you know, my foot is holding up, and you know, just being able to win, like I said, just being able to win in Brooklyn in front of my family, in front of my friends, and I think that helps too. And I don't know. It just feels good. I don't know what to say to them.
Joakim, tu joues avec beaucoup de passion. Comment tu arrives à bloquer la douleur comme ça et à... Est-ce que c'est le fait qu'il y a beaucoup de passion comme ça qui fait que la douleur, tu l'oublies pendant 48 minutes et tu arrives à te déplacer?
Non, ça s'appelle des médicaments. Beaucoup de médicaments. Ça aide. Mais la douleur aussi, ça aide.
Joakim, how good did it feel to quieten the Nets crowd tonight? Because it was a lot quieter. And what are you expecting from Chicago now that you get to go back 1-1 back to Chicago?
It's a whole other ballgame out there. I mean, it's not even comparable. I mean, this is a great place to play basketball, but these are new fans here. They've been doing this for a long time over there in Chi. So, Chi-Town's going to be ready on Thursday. And, you know, it's going to be a battle. You know, we'll be ready, they'll be ready, they're going to make their adjustments. It's playoff basketball is what it's all about.
Joe, I know you live for this postseason big game, especially when you're bigger games like this. How personally would you say game one now really, able to affect the game the way you do it?
I mean, you know, like I said, game one was really disappointing for all of us. You know, we'll see right now. You know, after winning the playoffs, you're always, you know, sky high, feeling good about yourself. But you know, you gotta stay focused. I know there's a lot of basketball left, so you know, anything can happen in the playoffs. Sometimes you're gonna play well, sometimes you're not. It's all about how you deal with these situations. So. Just be aware about it. Okay, you won, it was great. We also played like shit in the first game. So now it's on us to just be ready for game 3.
Last question, guys.
You guys obviously, Joe, you obviously had a lot of attention on Darren Williams who were jumping out. About the job Kirk did defensively and what you guys did on Darren Williams.
Kirky worky. I mean, he's a warrior. And I'm just so happy that he's back on this team because to me, you know, he really represents what Chicago Bulls basketball is all about. You know, especially right now. You know, I think that you know, he got kneed really bad in game 1. He was pretty hurt, and to come out and play defense the way that he played defense and to run the team the way that he run the team, I'm really happy for Cap because he's been huge for us when he's on his game like that. It's hard to beat.
Thank you, guys.